Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. And this is an older item from the vintage collection, but I'm glad I have it now. Something I never really thought I would get into is creatures. You know, I always just thought I liked the figures, maybe the vehicles. I'd never really collected vehicles at once upon a time, but I do now. And then I just got into, well, it's like a natural progression, isn't it? The lighting might be a bit weird on this. There's a couple of things putting spots on the wall, but they look quite cool. So there's a kind of a creature shelf here. And yeah, a few items there, Bantha there. Over here, this is where I planned it. This is the chronological original trilogy display. So you've got Star Wars. Empire is here. Well, actually, no. That's the Battle of Yavin there. And it goes into Empire. You might already see a Tauntaun on the shelf. That's a vintage 80s one that I got in like a job lot thing. It's, you know, missing accessories, but he's kind of like an army building Tauntaun. He's very much going to be a background one. I was thinking, basically, let me cut to the chase. I was thinking about putting the Tauntauns here. See that Luke there? That's the one I'm going to put on the Tauntaun that I'm going to open as he was designed for. And I'm soon going to be getting the Search for Luke Skywalker set. I've got that coming. My mate Mike did a little deal with him. He had one spare, so he's sending that right now. But I figured I really want the Luke one. In the back of my mind, I just didn't want to put Han. I beg your pardon, I didn't want to put Luke on Han's Tauntaun, but now I've got Luke's here, which I'm going to open for you. And then I've got Han's, plus that Search for Luke Skywalker set comes with a Han. So I can have two side by side. I don't know if there'll be space on here though, so maybe I'll have to find a space somewhere on this, you know, maybe a creature shelf. I know this is kind of Mandalorian here, you see, because there's Banthas, Luke. From the, what's it called? I was trying to whistle the theme, then it didn't work. From the rescue. So I'll work it out. That's just me talking aloud about how I'm going to do things. But I'd quite like them here all together. But still, anyway, enough babble. Let's get the thing open. But first, I want to show you the packaging, which is really nice. I'll just mount this camera. The packaging, as with all vintage stuff, is just extra bonus, you know. It's usually my packaging will go in the bin, but that won't. That's really good. The good thing about when you collect vehicles and creatures in the vintage collection is that, you know, once you've opened them, the packaging remains the same because it's external, isn't it? You know, when you open a vintage collection figure, for example, you just get the case that it came in. One example of that would be the armourer here. So she's done now, but I've opened it carefully. If I wanted to recard her or put another figure in it, I won't be doing that. But still, what I'm saying is that the boxes are just great, you know. They just, and this is in a really good condition. The guy who sold this to me did a great little deal on this on eBay. What we're talking about on one of the Facebook groups. And there you go. Apparently, that is a mock-up of what it would have looked like in the 80s, from what I've learned. They're in the set, and they've done that before. They've done that with the Speeder. Luke's Land Speeder. They very cleverly placed modern figures in the same mock-up as it would have been in the 80s, which is great. I love that. Big tip of the hat. So there is from the front and the side there. I have already opened it because I wanted to check there weren't bricks in there. No, of course there were. But the guy hadn't opened it, you see, so he could have been scammed. Because people do that with these boxes. You can't see in them, so it's dangerous. Somebody might put in, I don't know, a Power of the Force 2 Tauntaun as opposed to the one that's you see there, which is a really good Tauntaun, by the way. I've watched a fair few reviews last few days, just sort of like in anticipation of receiving this, just to sort of get a flavour of what it's going to be like. And the weird thing I know so far, right, about this is the fact that you can't. I think you can cut the belly of this one, which is wrong because really you should be able to cut the belly of Han's Tauntaun, technically speaking, because Luke's Tauntaun doesn't survive the cave, does it? Han's that dies and then gets the belly cut open. But still, the word is from that Search for Luke Skywalker set, Han, it's got a belly like this one. It's the same sculpt as this apparently, and the belly is sealed up on the Han one. Still, this one might have a belly that opens. I just don't know. I'm not getting that though from the pictures. Still, let's open it for you. I've already slid it out a little bit, but I've not unpackaged it yet. But I will be, obviously, because some people think I'm a card collector, but I am an opener. And I'm opening this. That's the other rubbish thing about when you collect vehicles and stuff. Why do people want to keep it in a box? You can't see it. That's the good thing. You open it and then you've still got a box. Whereas the vintage collection, you can not open these things, but at least you can still see the item in a clear bubble. You know what I'm saying? But with boxed items like this, you get the best of both worlds. You can open it and you can still pretend you've got something mint. And there it is. Look at the way he's packaged on his belly. I love it. And it's screen accurate in that Luke's Tauntaun has a cut horn. Look at him, he looks so funny like that. Is that how they sleep? I'm going to set him up. So the thing about Tauntauns is that I always, as a kid, you know, for years of watching The Empire Strikes Back, we just come straight out. Anyway, yeah, I always used to see them as more of a kind of a goat type figure. You know, a kind of a creature, I beg your pardon. Kind of like a goat type creature, but I did read somewhere that they were supposed to be a hybrid of like reptile. And I was like, reptile? What, really? I never ever considered them part of the reptilian kind of creature, but they are, aren't they? Look at him. So dinosaur-y. They've got the long tail, they've got claws, they've got the strong legs. They have got dinosaur features. They are a mixed... It's just because of the fur puts you off. Like a furry dinosaur, but I never saw them as dinosaurs. I saw them more of like an innocent sort of cow, lamb type creature, you know. Except that's what Hans says. That's the... You get that whole massive monologue from the Tauntaun when Hans doing the... It's great, man. Look at it. How do you get him to stand, though? Or her. Never assume the gender. Do you know what? I might cut there and cut that rope off. Bear with me. Got him. Or her. He's there. Or she is standing nicely now. You've got to do a bit of a balancing act. A little bit like with the AT-ST up there. Ooh, man, that's a nightmare to get stood. But once it's in the right position... You know, the weight is evenly distributed, bang, it ain't going to move. But this is the same. I've kind of got it right now. I'm going to go and get the Luke in a minute. Now, the Luke is... Let me just swivel it around that way. Oh, I could get the camera, unmount the camera in a minute. Great looking Tauntaun, look at that. The one that's coming in the search for Luke Skywalker is darker. He's got like a really dark spray on the legs. And I'm not too sure if they blend nicely or not. You know when you get those weird paint jobs that kind of like you see the ball joint and then it's like a different colour. I think there's a little bit of that going on. Look at that, man. That is an awesome creature. God, man, that's screen accurate to the hell, man. As hell. Right, so the situation over here with the Lukes is this. This was always a great figure. I swear by this figure. That's the Black Series version of Luke Hoth, and obviously he has injuries there. A great figure. I don't know if he has ball joints or not. Yes, he does. He has got ball joints. I never thought I'd need the vintage collection because I had that one, the vintage collection Luke. But I ended up getting it from Tungori, so here it is. But it really annoyed me, the fact that I've got a Luke there like that, and I've got a Luke here. I don't need too many Lukes, so the plan was that because he had ball joints, and I quite like this Luke with his his headgear on, whereas the other one has the gear I always remember of Luke, you know, with these face covers dangling, right? See those? That's how I like my figure to look, because obviously the 80s one looked like that, I guess. But this one is accurate to depict him. When you first see Luke on screen, and Han, he wrapped his face up as well on one of the scenes. That's how he looks. So I figured to myself, I thought, well, I know what I'm going to do with this figure. I'm going to do what he was designed for, which is put him on the Tauntaun, and you know, well, there you go. Long story short, I have one now. But this is going to take a bit of setting up to get him on this Tauntaun. You know, I really cherish the idea of having both Han and Luke stood side by side on their Tauntauns. That's what George was going for. That he wanted to have a, you know, the following the mythological thread of things. You know, knights on horseback. You know, it's not a horse, but still you get that thing. And the settings. Obviously icy cold, but still it's that motif, you know, mythology, and he looks great. I do like this figure like that. But if you take that headgear off, you sadly don't get the dangly bit anymore. Oh, I've just completely removed everything. Right, I've done it now. Got it. So he will look like that without the headgear on, which is rubbish because he's... Where's your dangly bit, Luke? So that's why this is quite good just to have as a wrapped up face Luke. I think you put it on like this. And I love to see Luke, any Luke figure without the saber lit. Just love that hilt, you see. Just having it on the belt is always good. And it's wrong, you know, sometimes people have their figures, they have one lit saber and one on the belt. Well, you never had two lightsabers. None of these guys did. Unless your name is Sarge Ventress. You know what I'm saying? Or Revan. Right. I'm going to try and do this quickly because it's hard to get his feet into the saddles, the stirrups, or whatever you call it. The saddles, is that right? I'm not going to remove this for you. I'm just going to put Luke on and then we're going to call it a day. Whoa, easy. I thought he was going to fall over then. Bear with me. And there he is, man. I'm not finished yet. I just want to show you this articulation of the Tauntaun. He's got a ball joint there, which is great. Really good. And then obviously the great thing about this Luke is the ball jointed hips. So you can straddle that Tauntaun. Really good. I'm just going to get him to stand for you. Hopefully he won't fall. Doesn't look like he's holding on there, Luke, but still, that doesn't matter. I just want to give you an idea of what he looks like on there. Looks very casual, doesn't he? Very hard to get him to stand. What am I doing, actually? This does not feel secure. That'll have to do. So, you know, try and avoid eBay for this. He's currently going for a lot more. I got it for half the price of what people are asking on eBay, like £100 for this. No, I got it for 50, 55 actually, including the postage, which was great. You know, the guy did me a really good deal. I'm sure there would have been a time when you could get him for a lot less than that. But I'm just pleased to have him, a proper Tauntaun. Let's have a look under the belly. I think maybe you can cut him open. I'll come to that in a minute. I'll investigate that, but still. Let's give you a rough idea. And look at that face there. Look at that detail. And there's Luke. Not holding on. Daredevil. Fantastic. If I spin him round, if I can avoid him falling over. Ah. Yeah, we got him. Is that paint up there? It's just a shadow being cast on him. It's a great creature. I'm so glad I got this. It wasn't my cup of tea, this type of thing, but I'm enjoying that. I wonder if he can go on my shelf height-wise. Excuse me. It might be too... So I found the spacing for this shelf here is actually... There is a bit more headspace there, headroom. I need to rearrange it, obviously, now I've got him to work out where everything's going to go, but... Oh, man, hang on. E.T. There you go. Something like that. I haven't finished yet, and there's that Tauntaun in the background. So I might get rid of the Wampa, put him somewhere else, and just have a bit of a mock-up of the... Sir, Commander Skywalker hasn't reported in yet. It's likely he didn't check in or something, not likely. It's possible he didn't check in, not likely. And the speeder's running. We're having trouble adapting into the cold, and blah-de-blah-de-blah. So I might have a little mock-up of the ice tunnel that's just before they, you know, where they keep the Tauntauns and stuff. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's check out that belly. Alrighty, so looking at the belly, I've just undone these straps here, these saddle straps. Yeah, and these are called the stirrups, those things there. I've got them muddled up before. Saddle and stirrup. So it's funny that when he's upside down, he doesn't fall off because his feet are well nicely fitted into the stirrups there. Luke. Now, I got a bit muddled before because I've watched a few different reviews, and I saw one review that said that they couldn't get this belly open, even when they put like a knife in there and tried to get it open, and they didn't want to break it, so it's obviously sealed up. Now, I thought that was for the search for Luke Skywalker's set. The Tauntaun from that was the one that was sealed up, and like I said before, that's inaccurate. If there was ever going to be one that needed a belly opening, it was that one. But maybe it was a review I saw for this one that they were saying that the belly was sealed up. So obviously it's inherited a mould or something where they wanted to open the belly. Now, does that go for a Tauntaun that was before those two sets? Before this one and the Search for Luke Skywalker set? I have no idea. But I fully expected this was going to be the one that would open, even though that's not accurate. Just from judging from what I'd seen on reviews. I'm pretty sure it was a review for the Search for Luke Skywalker where they said they couldn't get the belly open, but the mold was there. Well, this one looks exactly the same. I'm going to double check this now because it's doing my head in. I'm pretty sure that you can't get that open, and I don't want to force it. You get underneath that, you try and open it, there's no way it will. So I guess maybe it's something they did. They considered it and then they thought, nah, it's not working, just glue them up. I don't know. If you know the answer to that, let me know, because that's interesting. But I don't fancy that anyway. I know that the vintage 80s one, I only found this out a few months ago, had a rubber belly, because I never had one of them as a kid. Never knew that. So you can actually stick Luke inside. But maybe they were going for that here, I just don't know. Doesn't matter anyway, it's on the underside, it doesn't affect your viewing pleasure of the creature, but doesn't he look good, man? Well happy with that. So, there you are, ladies and gentlemen, Luke Skywalker and Tauntaun added to the collection. You know, don't regret getting that at all. It's really nice, that. I look forward to getting the other one, of course. You know, Han Solo's one that comes in this Search for Luke Skywalker set. Put them both together and see what it's like. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you are new around here, subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, make sure you have tapped the notification bell. And, you know, smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. Look at that face, man. Whoa. I used to love it in the film. You can see their breath coming out there. Their mouth as well. Nice touch. Irvin Kershner. He knows how to make a good movie. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.